today's agenda, we're going to talk about email marketing, kind of what it is and how it helps you. I'm going to give you a different way to think about email marketing. Maybe it's a way to approach email marketing that is different than you've heard in the past. I've got just a collection of very tactical ways you can improve your results to get more out of email marketing. We'll talk about growing your list. You might be going from 0 to a small list, or a small list to a big list, or a big list to a bigger list. But either way, we'll talk about ways you can grow your list. And then finally, I'll give you some steps, the simplest ways to get started with email marketing to grow your sales. So before we do that, though, I want to talk just for a bit about really not just how insurance sales has changed, but really all sales. And this is true whether you're selling insurance or cars or really anything. And the first is that today, because of technology, because of new technologies that our customers have in place, sales is now customer driven. And it used to be that customers would come to us because we had all the information, and so they would begin their research and purchase process by engaging with a salesperson. Today, customers can get the information themselves. It's available online, it's available through search engines. They can go and educate themselves on options, educate themselves on different products, educate themselves on what they might need. And that has shifted kind of the control of the sales process into the customer's hands. And so today, customers buy when, where, and how they want. They don't need to engage a salesperson until they're ready. And that means that we need to change the way we interact with our customers. We need to position ourselves as sort of a coach or a educational resource that can help them, as opposed to somebody who controls their journey. The second is that information is mobile, and we probably all have a smartphone in our pocket or in our purse or our bag or next to us at our desk, and we carry that with us everywhere we go. And this has really changed the way we all work, where we no longer expect to wait a day or two to get an answer. We're used to pulling out our phone and quickly being able to get any question answered in a matter of seconds. And so we might be out at a store, we might be running an errand, but we're able to access this incredible library of data instantly. And that's trained our customers to be always connected and to expect instant answers. And with their phone as their first stop for information, not only do you need to make sure that you're there to answer these questions, but you also have to change the way you respond to customers, because they're not going to wait 24 hours to hear back from you. If they look for an answer and they don't get an instant response, they're going to go somewhere else. And so information has become mobile. That's changed our customer expectations. So when you put these two things together, what this means is that we are not in charge anymore. We're not in charge. We're a support team, not the team leader. We're here to help our customers along the path as opposed to guide them. And our customers can choose if they trust us, if they do business with us, or if they go somewhere else. And that means that trust and authenticity between you and your customer are more important than ever. They don't want to feel like they're being sold to. They don't want to feel like you're withholding information or controlling the process. They want to feel like they're in charge. They want to feel like you are out for their best interest and that their needs are the top priority. Customers don't call us back. I'm sure we've all experienced this, where we're seeing that our voicemails, our emails, when we reach out to customers, we don't have them respond to us the way they used to. They respond when they want to. We need to be ready to address that and respond them right away. And finally, customers expect a high level of technical sophistication. Insurance agents by nature are not techies, but our customers expect that they're gonna find a high level of technical capabilities in doing business, because that's how they operate today. We know that people communicate online with their friends and their family through social media, through email. People shop online. People manage their retirement savings online. They bank online. And with all of those things, today's consumer has gotten very sophisticated about recognizing a high quality online experience versus one that's not so high quality. and they recognize which ones they trust versus which ones they tune out. And that means that we have to be ready to address those highly technical needs in order to serve our customers. I mentioned there were 3 ways, and there is a third way. The third way is new competition. We have a new competitive landscape that we operate in. Insurance used to be the slowest changing industry, and I don't say this in a bad way. Insurance is an industry that's about reducing risk, and change is risk. Whenever you change the way you operate your business, you're exposing yourself to new threats and new vulnerabilities. But insurance is changing quickly now. It's no longer the slowest changing industry. And I just went out and found 10 of a very large list of startups that have raised over $10 million in venture capital. You can see that, this list varies from $19 million to $892 million. Tons of money is getting poured into insurance tech companies to come and change the way insurance is being sold. And so you look at this list and you can see, really a staggering amount of venture capital going into the market. You might say that, well, I sell to the senior market, or I don't see, direct competition here. And that is potentially true, but we know, for example, we see Oscar, and they have made a name for themselves by streamlining the customer experience so that customers use technology to interact with them. And then they also have been successful by paying lower commissions. They're getting into the med sup market. Policy Genius, another company that's been really successful selling online, traditionally to millennials, which has been a market that's been somewhat neglected. They sell renters insurance and term life insurance, pet insurance. They're making some indications that they're going up market into the older population, people over 40, people over 65. We're seeing that they are starting to optimize their site for Medicare supplement, for example, and driving organic traffic to their site for that. They would only do that because they want to sell in that market. And so we're going to see that each of these companies is going to establish a toehold in one market and then start to spread out. And if you don't feel it already, you will be feeling it soon. So technology change can be difficult and it can be painful. And we've certainly seen some industries. The one that comes to mind to me is travel agents. Travel agents were devastated when airline tickets went, when the sale of airline tickets went online in the late 90s. Travel agents that made their living selling airline tickets are not in business anymore. Those agents, they didn't find a way to evolve their business. They went out of business. And technology change does create risk. It can be scary. It can be painful. But I think there's a path forward. So I mentioned travel agents, but I think that maybe realtors is a better comparison for us in the insurance space. And realtors have been people have been saying that there's going to be the death of the traditional realtor for about 20 years, that they make this very good commission off of a home sale, and that's been ripe for disruption. But that hasn't happened. Realtors are still doing well. They're still everywhere. It's still how business is done. And there's a few reasons for that. One is that people don't buy houses like airline tickets. They don't buy them several times a year. It might be once or twice or 3 times in their entire life. So the process is something they're not familiar with. It's not really a commodity in that way. The second is that the risk of getting it wrong, if you go and you buy the wrong home, you pay the wrong price, is very substantial. Whereas if you buy the wrong airplane flight, it might be a couple $100s. And insurance can be seen the same way. Customers don't buy insurance 6 or 7 times a year. They think about this infrequently, but we know that the risks of getting it wrong can be very substantial. And so I think that realtors are a better parallel for us to look at. And it even gets a little better about that. The National Association of Realtors did a study a few years ago where they looked at different types of realtors, and they found that a technology-based realtor, meaning somebody that uses technology in their sales process, makes 3 times what a non-technology realtor does. And so we can see that not only there's an opportunity to stay in business, there's an opportunity to increase your revenue through technology. And so 3 times, that's a huge difference. So I think that's kind of where we get hope. So with that said, let's kind of dive in, talking about email marketing. So I know the answer to these questions, but does any of this interest you? Do you want more quote requests? Do you want more renewals? Do you want your customers to stay longer, to be satisfied as a customer with you for longer? Do you want more cross-selling opportunities? Do you want more referrals? I know the answer. It's for all of these, it's yes. And I believe that perhaps the best way to help you kind of snowball your business through more quote requests, more renewals, more cross-sell, more opportunity is email marketing. Email marketing, in my mind, may be the best marketing vehicle that's ever been invented. It's efficient, it scales, it works. We've seen a study done by the Content Marketing Institute where they looked at the return on email marketing. They saw that every dollar invested in email marketing on average produces $44 in sales. And it kind of makes sense because you don't have to pay for printing and postage, and you don't have to go deliver a message or take a physical billboard space or radio air. Email marketing is a very efficient, cost-effective way to get out to customers at the right time. And then there's this yet. We looked at insurance agents' experience with email marketing. We did a survey last year of about 5,000 agents, and we found that only 26% of them had ever done email marketing. And I mean ever, not ongoing. They didn't have an email marketing program in place. They weren't doing it every month. They weren't doing it effectively or consistently. But only 26% had ever tried it. And so here we have this fantastic marketing channel that's been proven to deliver amazing results, and yet most agents aren't doing it. And so this is where the opportunity lies, is for us to start doing email marketing, to leverage what's been learned in other industries, and to use it to grow our sales. So let's talk first about how to do email marketing right. So what does email marketing look like when it's done correctly? And the approach that we take on this is to think about email marketing not as like a lead gen thing, not as something you email out to strangers, but as a relationship building tool you use throughout your sales process, throughout your customer relationship life cycle. And so we look at using email marketing at every stage of your customer journey. And you can think of these different phases where it begins with generating leads. So you do need to get interest, you need to get prospects, you need to go out and market to generate new leads. But then you also want to build trust and credibility with those leads, because that's the foundation that allows you to sell. And so when you get a lead, that's the start of the process. Now you have to use technology, use marketing to develop a trusting relationship with that contact. You need to support sales. So as you are presenting products, talking about your clients' needs, using email marketing to create an underlaying of education with your customers so they see the value in the products that you're offering and help guide them to the decision that you're leading them toward. You need to nurture relationships over the long term. So when you make a sale, month after month, year after year, you're always building your relationship with your customers, keeping that trust high and keeping that recognition high, because that's what leads to more cross sales, where they turn to you as their first point of question or first person they go to if they ever want to talk about an additional product. And of course, you can also offer them new things. And then ultimately, that's what leads to more referrals. You have a customer that knows you, that trusts you, that buys from you. They're going to naturally become a referral source to you. And so thinking about email marketing throughout this entire process is where you really see your sales snowball, where one sale becomes 3, becomes 10, becomes 30, and over the years, your book of business really grows. So what we're talking about is using email marketing to automate your touch points with your customers. So automating your nurturing with your prospects. So your leads, your prospects, people who you maybe haven't sold to yet, but you're working on sales. Using email marketing to onboard new clients and to help show them that you're not just there for the sale, but you're there for the long term, that you're there to help them beyond the sale. You want to automate your touch points and outreach and ultimately educate your clients about additional products. And what this really means is you want to use email to keep people from forgetting about you. It's kind of a, I guess it sounds kind of harsh, but we sell to our clients and then they go on with their lives. And they aren't thinking about insurance every day. They're not thinking about us every day. And we want to make sure that they're reminded that you are their insurance agent, that you have invested in them, that you have a lasting relationship built on trust with them, that you are the person they call whenever they have a question, whenever they're looking for additional products, whenever they have any need involving insurance. We want to make sure they remember you. And then ultimately, we want to nudge them to refer you because they are loyal to you. With this relationship building, people become your sales and marketing force naturally. So let's talk about creating effective emails. And this is where I'm going to get really tactical. These are some things you can put in place to improve your email process. And then I'll talk about what kinds of emails you'll send and how you can send them. So the first is having one call to action. And the call to action is the thing you're asking the email recipient to do. So maybe it's download a guide, maybe it's schedule an appointment, maybe it's get a quote. Having one call to action, and only one, you can see has a tremendous increase in clicks, which is people clicking on the call to action, and sales. And with that point, you want to make sure you don't have zero calls to action. I see lots of emails that are sort of informational, but there's never a clear ask or a next step. And so make sure you have a call to action in your email, and don't have lots of them. Don't have it full of call to actions, have one. Direct people what to do and explain the benefits to them, and then also appeal to their emotions. So a clear, concrete call to action where it's very clear what they're going to get or why they would click on the link works well. A sort of vague, let's talk or get a free consultation, where it's not very clear about what they're going to get, doesn't work as well. So create a call to action and look at things like, see your rates, get free quotes, get a free coverage review. Those kinds of call to actions work great. The next tip is to go easy on text. And you can see that 65% of consumers prefer email that are mostly images. So we don't want to create a big, long wall of text, a lot of things to read. It's okay to have some bullet points. You talk about what your offer is, what the key benefits are, and your call to action, and then use visuals to create an emotional connection. You can see this picture. This is for a term life email, term life campaign. It's a young family. And so anybody with a young child is going to very quickly connect with this image at an emotional level and see, yeah, this, I understand why I'd want to do this because this is about caring for my kids. Images can do that much better than text can. There is an alternative approach called a long form letter that you may have seen. These are more of a long narrative story where often you hear people tell their story. And those have been proven to work well when done right, but they're really tricky and they require a lot of testing to get right. And so my recommendation for lots of text, long form, is just not to worry about it. Don't do that. Keep the emails short, keep them visual, have a good clear call to action, good emotional connection, and you'll see responses work better. I get asked this all the time, what day should I send my emails? And the real answer statistically is Tuesdays. Tuesdays have a slightly better open and click-through rate than other days of the week overall. But ultimately, you want to send emails on the days that you're available. So if you are not in the office on Tuesday, don't send on Tuesday. So think about not just the best day of the week. If all days are equal, schedule on Tuesday. But the difference is not that substantial. So if Thursdays are better for your schedule, send on Thursday. Wednesdays are better, send on Wednesday. The next one is to don't spam. Spam is probably a topic we could have an entire webinar about, but it's basically sending email to people who don't know you and don't have a relationship with you. So make sure you're getting your list from your customers, from your contacts, organically built of people that know you, that recognize you. Maybe they've bought from you in the past or talked to you in the past about something that you offer. It might be somebody that you just know casually even, but do not go and buy lists, do not trade lists. You're much better off with a small list of people who know you and have a relationship with you than you are of a large list that are people who don't know you. If you do send spam, unsolicited email to people, you will get flagged and you will effectively lose your ability to send email. And you'll start finding that your emails get dropped into people's junk mail folders, even of your customers and people that you know, because your email address has been put on a bad senders list. So just don't do it. Don't do spam. And then don't over promote your agenda. And I'll talk a bit more about ways to balance this, but you want to make sure that you're not just pushing what you want, because that's what gets you unsubscribed. We know that on social media, 46% of people will unfollow a brand if they post too many promotional images. And the same is with email. If you are constantly pushing a sale, pushing a sale, pushing a sale, and not adding value in the conversation, people will unsubscribe, they will flag you as a spammer, and you'll lose the effectiveness of your email. I'll talk more about a good mix in a few minutes. So when we did that survey about how many insurance agents have done email marketing, the biggest reason why people haven't done it, they told us, is because they don't feel like they have a list. And I understand that. It takes time to grow a list. It takes time and work. You probably have more of a list than you think. And with some things I'll show you later, it can be so easy to send email marketing that even a very small list, even a list of 20 to 30 people, can be worth marketing to because you'll see results there. And so my recommendation is it's okay to start small. It's okay to start with 20 people. Now, where do you get those 20 people? If you go back and look at your email program, look at your sent messages, look at who you've sent emails to, and look for clients. Have you emailed a client? Have you emailed a prospect? Do you have friends that maybe are in the market that you sell to? And maybe there's people who care about you and want to hear about what you're doing. Is there family in your market? Do you have colleagues from a previous job or a previous employer, maybe, that are in your market? Really, anybody that knows you, that fits into the market that you sell to. So go look through your sent folder in your email and see if you can find 25 names. So if you have no list right now, go and look through your sent folder and find 25. I think we can all do that. And it's worth starting there. And then from there, you can make it a habit of growing your list, asking customers for email, using email to correspond with customers so you get their email address, and just starting to gather your list more effectively. Now, a few tips, some do's and don'ts. Do include your friends and family. They want to hear from you. They care about you. So go ahead and include them. They might be a referral for you. Do not buy names or trade lists. We talked about spam before. Don't do that. Do start now. So if you're sitting there thinking, well, I can't email because I don't have a list, you got to start somewhere. And it's okay to start small. No list is too small. So just make sure you do it because it will become an asset that grows more and more in value to you and your business. Don't violate canned spam. That's the act that makes spamming illegal. And it really comes down to a couple things. Again, we could have a whole webinar about it, but canned spam is making sure that you have a relationship with somebody you're emailing to. That's the first thing. Having a way for them to unsubscribe in your email. So if they don't want to receive it anymore, they can opt out. And then putting your physical address in your email. They require you to have a physical address in your email. If you do those three things, you're going to be well on your way to making sure you're covering the steps you need to protect to not violate the Canned Spam Act. And then do start to keep your email list in one place. And this could be a spreadsheet, it can be a text file, but just somewhere start to save that list so you can use it in lots of ways. Another thing you can do is make sure your website, your agency website, is loaded with great content, that there's a reason for somebody to go there, because that's going to create opportunities for them to contact you through your website, and maybe they'll ask questions or ask for quotes. And when they do that, it gives you a chance to capture their email address. When they contact you digitally, it's easier to ask for an email address than it is in person or on the phone. And you want to give your visitors lots of ways to contact you. So not just a quote form, but look at like asking a question, giving people different opportunities to reach out to you through your website where they give you their email address. Another way to do this is to engage with people on your website who aren't ready to quote. So look at opportunities besides a get a quote form. So this is a screenshot of one of our websites where we have pop-ups you can set up that show up anywhere on your site based on the rules you want. And you can do things like offer free guides. So in this example, this is a picture of Susan offering the Medicare New Guide. And it's a very simple trade. Somebody's looking at Medicare information. You have a pop-up message and saying, hey, you want this guide? Give me your email and I'll send you a copy. And we know that people are as much as 20 times more likely to respond to this than they are to a get a quote form. And so it's a way for you to get lots more interactions from your website. And it kind of makes sense because people who are gathering information, remember, they're in control of the process. They're not ready to talk to you yet. They're not ready to fill out a quote form and give all that information up. But they do want information from you. And so if this is a way for them to get it, they'll make that very simple trade. And so make sure you look at opportunities like this on your site to collect more emails. Okay, so let's look at what an email marketing program looks like. So we have a list. We're committed to doing email marketing. We know that Tuesdays is probably the best day to send. We know that mostly images are better. We know about a single call to action. So let's talk about what an email marketing program looks like. There are three types of emails you want to be thinking about. The first one is an email newsletter. And I think of this as sort of the relationship foundation, where you make sure that every month your customers hear from you in a non-salesy way. So every month, every single month, like clockwork, an email newsletter goes out that is full of interesting, engaging, educational, informative content that your clients want to read. They're going to open it up and say, oh, this is stuff I care about. They're going to want to see it. Make sure that goes out every month to keep you in front of your customers. And that's going to keep your logo, it's going to keep your name, your photo, your phone number in front of your customers every month. And it's sort of investing in your relationship with them. They get the newsletter and they think, okay, this agent is educating me. They're trying to make me a better customer. And even if they don't read every newsletter, they will learn to appreciate it. It's something that will add value to them. So how you can do this, you can use MailChimp, which is a free email program up to 2,000 subscribers. You can go and create a newsletter there if you want to create your own. Or talk to me, Agent Methods. We have a newsletter platform where we can provide content and do it for you to run your newsletter, to make it totally hands-free for you. The second type of email is a life cycle email. And these are emails that are triggered based on milestones in your customers' lives. So maybe it's their 65th birthday. Maybe it's a new customer welcome. Maybe there's a renewal anniversary coming up. Maybe there's a change in products. Maybe a carrier is leaving the market and you need to notify your customers about these things. And the best way to send these kinds of emails is through your customer relationship management system, because that's where you track all of the details about your customers. You know their birthdays and what products they have, where they're located, and you can use that to quickly sort and trigger these kinds of emails to go out in a personalized way. And so the second, life cycle emails. The third is email campaigns. And an email campaign is a campaign you send out to promote a specific product, call to action, or opportunity. And when you overlay these on top of newsletters and on top of lifecycle emails, they work really well because you're going into customers, contacts that know you, that trust you, and you're presenting value-added opportunities for them to learn about new products. So we have launched an email marketing platform that lets you run campaigns. We launched it in January. And this is the new part. This is the exciting part. We've made it so easy that it's okay to send to 20 people. You don't have to have 500 people to see results. And we actually have a free version that lets you get started and see the benefits before you have to make a purchase or pay for anything. So this is the Agent Methods email campaign platform. This is where the magic happens. And yes, we do have, we have a free version. We have a paid version. I'll talk about the differences in a minute. But we want you to get started. We want you to see the benefits of email marketing and see how this can help you grow your sales. The results are almost instant. An email goes out and an hour later, you'll have a bunch of customers talking to you. And I don't know if there's any kind of marketing that can produce faster results. So I'll walk you through how this works. We have created a library of pre-built, pre-designed, ready to send email campaigns. And you can go and choose the campaign. So you think about what products that you want to offer. So maybe you spent the fall into the winter doing open enrollment for Medicare Advantage. And now you want to look at other opportunities to offer your clients. So maybe it's critical illness, or maybe it's dental and vision. You can go and find campaigns for those products and choose the ones you like. We will then personalize it so it has your brand, your contact info. It's sent from you. You can edit if you want to, but our goal is you don't have to, that these are ready to send. But if you do want to make a tweak or a change, you can do so. We will automatically create any landing pages. So when these emails go out, if they have a call to action, which they do, and that call to action is to go fill out a form or request more information or download a free guide, we create the landing page for you. So it's ready to go. So they can just click on a button and go to the page. If you have an Agent Methods website on our website platform, we will automatically put that page on your site so they can actually go to your website. If you don't have a website with us, or if you don't have a website at all, we will host the page for you. So there's no need to worry about HTML or FTPing files around or any of that techie stuff. It's just done. You click the campaign and we set up the landing page for you. We personalize it. We have your logo, your name, your contact info, all goes on the page. So super easy to do. And then you can schedule up to 3 months in advance. So when you go into our email campaign tool, you can set emails up for the next 3 months. And so our goal is that you spend about 1 hour a quarter, so 4 hours a year, to go in and pick out the emails that you want to send out. Choose the emails, decide what you want to market on for the next 3 months, and then you can forget about it. Then you can go back to doing what you do. You're already busy enough, and you don't need to be running email campaigns all day, every week. You can forget about it. We take care of the rest. So we will personalize the email, we will send it, we will track it. You get a weekly report. Every Sunday you get an activity report that shows you the past emails that were sent out, how many were sent, how many people opened it, how many clicks you got, and you can actually go in and see exactly who it was that opened, who it was that clicked, and then if anybody responds to a campaign, you get those right away. So you get immediately notified, both via email and if you want to, via text message, of anybody who responds and requests to follow up via a campaign. And this is where it's really cool, where, for example, we had an agent about 2 weeks ago send out, he had 185 Medicare supplement contacts. And on Tuesday, he followed the advice. He sent out an email promoting critical illness insurance. And so I got a call from him on Wednesday, and he said, yeah, I'm sending out 14 quotes today. So 24 hours later, he had gone from 0 to 14 quote requests, and it cost him nothing to do. So it works. I keep hearing stories like this over and over again of agents that are sending out email campaigns and seeing immediate results, immediate interest. So besides creating your list, your homework, there's really no excuse not to do this, is to go create a free email campaign account with Agent Methods. So you can go to agentmethods.com/email. There's a get started for free. That will set you up with our free program and let you start sending email. So you can go do that right now, and by tomorrow, or you can set it up next week to go out on Tuesday. By the next day, you will start to see results coming in. So we are a business. I'm not going to hide this. We do have a paid plan, and it's called the Growth Plan. And my goal is that you all use our free email service, that you go in and use our free service and see results and say, I want more, and then switch to our growth plan. The growth plan gives you more emails, so you have a larger library of campaigns to choose from, and it allows you to send to a larger list. So the free plan has a limit of 100 contacts, which is enough to get started. But if you have a larger list and want to send to all of them, we have the growth plan, which starts at $49 a month. So even it is not very expensive. When you think about how much one sale is worth to you, the growth plan pays for itself in no time. And we have a couple of things I'm going to offer you about our growth plan, where if you are thinking, okay, I want to get started with email marketing, but I'm really busy, or I need a little guidance. It sounds good, but I want access to Aaron. I want access to you to get this going. The first 10 people to sign up for the growth plan today, I'll do a one-on-one personalized setup. So we'll go spend about half hour to an hour together talking about your products, talking about your marketing goals, and we will set this up to get the next 3 months of email just going for you. So for that alone, the price is worth it, because you can do this totally hands-free. And the second thing that we'll offer is, if there's something you want to promote, if there's a product or a message that you want to get out there that isn't in our library already, we will create a custom email campaign for you. And so if you're looking for a little more than what the free plan has to offer, those are two really nice value adds where you'll get access to me to set this up, and we will create a custom email for you. I made this offer to a group a few weeks ago, and it was so much fun to get to go in and help agents like you think about how you can use email marketing to grow your business, and then get to see the immediate results, to get to hear firsthand about the sales that are being made from these campaigns. And so I look forward to doing with you. It's something that I really enjoy. So a few things that we provide. Agent Methods, our core product is insurance websites. We haven't even talked about that today, but if you're thinking about improving your website, if you think about increasing your web presence, better marketing yourself online, having a great website is critical. It's the cost of doing business today. Happy to help you out with that. Let's talk about getting you an amazing website. I mentioned that we have a hands-free email newsletter. So if you are thinking about launching a newsletter and don't want to do it yourself, we can set it up for you so that it runs without any work on your part. If you're thinking about marketing through social media, if you're thinking about using Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter to get your message out, we have a social media management service that we do for insurance agents. We can talk about that. And then of course we have these ready to send email campaigns, and for those you can get started for free. So with that, I think you have some information you can use to go out and make 2019 your best year ever. So homework is just two things. Make sure you have an email list. Go and collect some emails through your sent folder. Try to get a list of 25 if you don't have one already. And then sign up for our email marketing at agentmethods.com/email. Feel free to reach out to me directly. That's my email address, Aaron@agentmethods.com. So thank you. That's what I've got.